morning, and welcome to this week's edition of Marquette in Motion. We're your hosts, Hallie Kilberg.
And because Miranda Peters is currently judging for FFA, I am Kelsey Gerlach stepping in for her today. On today's show, we'll be informing you on the ACT prep that many students at Marquette are participating in.
We'll also be giving you all the details on the exciting dance marathon that Marquette has partnered with Easton Valley to host.
And although this year has hit its final stretch, we're already looking forward to the next one. We'll be telling you all about the different upcoming orientations for different classes at Marquette.
Then, as always, we'll give you all the Marquette sports and updates.
And this week's featured senior is Samantha Anderson.
Don't worry, we'll still be answering all of your questions in You Ask, We Answer, but because of the tipsy-turvy nature that goes along with April Fool's Day, Kelsey and I will be offering our words of wisdom.
Has anyone told you your shoe was untied today?
You, like many others, may be wondering how this crazy holiday came to be. Before the 16th century, April 1st was actually considered to be the first day of the new year.
However, when it was changed to January 1st with the new Gregorian calendar, this led to much confusion.
Some even refused to accept the Gregorian calendar and still accepted April 1st as the start of the new year. Thus, they were referred to as fools, eventually getting called April Fools.
Speaking of being fooled, in France, children tape paper fish to their friends' backs to prank each other.
And children aren't the only ones getting in on the fun. On April 1st, 1996, Taco Bell released an ad saying that they were going to purchase the Liberty Bell and they would rename it Taco Liberty Bell.
BBC did a joke news story in 2008 about the discovery of a penguin actually flying.
And in the 1950s, BBC also ran a story about the spaghetti harvest happening in Switzerland.
So it's safe to say that many people are taking part of the April Fool's Day fun.
But no joking now. We are switching gears and getting into a more serious topic: tests.
The juniors and sophomores have been working with Julie Schmidt preparing for arguably the most important test of their life thus far, the ACT.
Students are free to take the ACT test again if they don't get the desired score.
Because of the stress, drainage, and loss of money that comes with each test, students want to minimize the number of times they take the test.
Because of the pressure that comes with taking this test, there can be many nerves and many students don't have any idea what to expect.
So ACT prep is like a practice run so that students can understand what the questions will be like and also what the ACT atmosphere will be like.
Speaking of atmosphere, soon we will be filling our gym with an atmosphere of dance. It's time for our biannual fundraiser for the kids, Dance Marathon.
Here to inform us is Katherine Heimbuch.
On Friday, April 7th, Marquette will host a dance marathon event. And that's not all. We once again will be joining with Easton Valley to do so. Dance Marathon is open to all students in 6th through 12th grades from Marquette and Easton Valley. And each middle school and high school student has been challenged to raise $35 and $50 respectively. The money raised goes to the Iowa Children's Hospital to help families who have children with life-threatening illnesses. When Marquette last hosted Dance Marathon in 2015, the $8,000 goal was surpassed by almost $20,000. This year's goal is to raise $10,000. The dancers at Dance Marathon dance for 6 hours non-stop, and at the top of every hour, they perform a choreographed dance. In addition to the non-stop dancing, some people will be getting their hair cut with the money donated to the wonderful cause. There also will be life stories shared from families affected by children with serious illnesses. As a fun feature, there is currently a Mr. Dance Marathon contest going on. The 3 contestants are Mr. Holmesby, our social studies teacher, Mr. Bishop, our high school English teacher, and Mr. Kaiser, our principal. Each contestant has a jar in the Marquette lobby. The person with the most money in his jar on Friday night will have to perform a talent in front of everyone at the Dance Marathon event. That male teacher won't be the only one having fun in front of a crowd. Also that night, the dance team will be performing a co-ed dance with 5 Marquette high schoolers. Please support this cause, or one that's dear to your heart. For Marquette in Motion, this has been Katherine Heimbuch. Stay tuned, more Marquette in Motion on the way.
Welcome back to Marquette in Motion. Up next, we'll be learning all about the upcoming Marquette orientations.
Hi, I'm 6th grader Elise Kilberg, Hallie's sister, and I get to step in this week to bring you all the details about next week's orientations. On Wednesday, April 5th, next year's 6th graders and their families are invited to attend an orientation meeting to be held in the Media Center beginning at 6:30. There, families will have all their questions answered about their children's transition to middle school. An hour later, Ninth grade students and their families are invited to the Media Center, where they will have the opportunity to find out more about the intricacies of high school. The following evening, on Thursday, April 6th, next year's preschool and kindergarten students and their families will convene at 6:30 to learn about the kindergarten and preschool programs. The children will also have the opportunity to go to their respective classrooms and to enjoy a story and activity with teachers. Reporting on orientations, this has been Elise Kilberg for Marquette in Motion.
Great, thanks. And now it's time for everyone's favorite part of the show. You ask, we answer. Only, for April Fool's Day, Kelsey and I will be giving the advice.
We are going to turn away from the experience-filled wisdom you usually hear in this segment and ask some younger high schoolers what they have learned so far in their high school careers. The first question, are you ready?
Yep.
We're ready.
Because you have completed some of your first high school sports seasons, what is your opinion of high school sports? Are they as important as they are made out to be, and why?
I think that they are really important, not just in the fact of winning, which is now more important than it was back in middle school, but now it's very important just with the social and teamwork components that I think make high schoolers better and more prepared for the real world.
I completely agree.
Great answer, Hallie. Next question. As young high schoolers, what has been the most effective strategy for tackling subjects and classes that are difficult and challenging?
Don't let it get to your head. Don't overstress about it, and just have good time management. And if you just don't let it get to you, then you can just calm down about it and just really focus on it and not worry about letting it get too big.
I would say it helps a lot to have your friends and classmates in the class with you that are going through the same exact thing. So studying together and sometimes just ranting to each other helps a lot.
And the last question. What are you most anxious for or nervous about in your upcoming high school years?
I would say having more responsibility as a senior and a junior and a sophomore, because as a freshman, no one really looks up to you. So when you get to be upperclassmen, people more look up to you, and you have to think more about what you do and what you say about classes and teachers.
I'm more anxious to the fact that now college seems kind of like a distant thing in the future, but it's actually approaching fast, and when you're a junior and senior, you really feel like you're going out into the real world and being by yourself. That's what I'd be most anxious for.
Great job, guys. I actually kind of like this format. Let's see what happens next week.
Stay tuned. The two of us will be back after this commercial break.
Welcome back to Marquette in Motion. Now, here again are Sam Peters and Jonathan Herrig with your Marquette sports and updates.
Thanks, Hallie. Marquette's golf team had 2 meets this past week, with the first being at home on Monday against East Buchanan. As a team, however, they were unable to win the meet against East Buchanan's tough competitors. Marquette's golfers also had a meet yesterday at Independence against North Lynn. We will have the results of this meet here for you on next week's show. Due to the weather this past Thursday, Marquette's soccer game as well as Marquette's track meet were postponed until a later date.
Thanks, Sam. And don't forget to support Marquette at our annual Magic of Children banquet tonight with a buffet dinner from 4:30 to 7 o'clock. There will be a silent auction online ending at 7:30 as well as a live auction beginning at 7:30. Come down to Horizon Hall and show your support.
For Marquette in Motion, this has been Sam Peters
and Jonathan Herrig with your Marquette Sports and Updates report.
Thanks, guys. Now interviewing Samantha Anderson are Kelsey Gerlach and Brooklyn Moore.
Hello, everyone. I'm Brooklyn Moore.
And I'm Kelsey Gerlach.
Today, we'll be interviewing Sam Anderson, who is another amazing senior at Marquette.
Sam, could you start us off by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, so I live in Bellevue, and I just got a new puppy, actually. My parents are Chris and Luann Anderson, and I have 8 siblings in total.
What's your puppy's name?
Bentley.
Aw, sounds adorable. What extracurriculars do you participate in?
I've been active in basketball, volleyball, softball. I've been in the plays and musicals, and I was also in speech during my freshman year.
So which one of those was your favorite and why?
For sure softball, because it's been my favorite sport since I was a little girl.
Oh, okay. Where do you plan to go to college?
I'm attending the University of Northern Iowa next year.
So what made you want to go there?
Actually, the first reason I ever got attached to that school is because I love the colors of it. I like purple and yellow. But I love their social work program. That's what I'm going into next year, so that's really what attracted me to it.
Why did you decide to major in social work?
I kind of felt like it was my calling because I love helping kids and families, and that's really what I want to focus on, so that's why I decided to go for social work.
What are you most excited about for college?
Probably just meeting new people. I've been in the same area my whole entire life, so it's going to be interesting to see the kinds of people I meet.
So, Sam, if it doesn't fluster you too much, what is your most embarrassing moment?
In preschool for graduation, they could not get the medal over my head because my head was so big, so that I had to hold it in all of the pictures.
That is so sad.
Oh my god, that makes me sad. So don't get too sappy on us, but what are you going to miss most about Bellevue when you leave?
My family and my friends for sure. I know that's super cliche, but I just the people I've gotten close to over the years, it's going to be sad not seeing them every day.
I miss you too.
What is the best class that you've ever taken at Marquette?
20th century multimedia was the best class I've taken. I just love watching movies.
Agreed. What is the biggest decision you've ever made?
I think it's been just deciding where I'm going to college and what I'm going to major on because it's going to determine the rest of my life.
So what is something that most people probably don't know about you?
Most people probably don't know how much I love music and how much I love to sing because I don't do it around people, but I do it all the time when I'm by myself.
Well, I'll keep that in mind if I ever need someone to sing for me. We have one final question for you. What is something on your bucket list?
Right now, the number one thing on my bucket list is to go skydiving, and actually, me and my brother are going skydiving after I graduate, so I'm so excited for that.
Oh my gosh, that sounds scary but fun. Well, that concludes our interview. Thanks for letting us interview you, Sam, and thanks to all of our listeners. For Marquette in Motion, this has been Brooklyn Moore
And Kelsey Gerlach
with Tell Us More.
Thanks for reporting, everyone.
And thank you for tuning in.
For Marquette in Motion, this has been Hallie Kilberg.
And Kelsey Gerlach.
And remember, stay informed, stay involved, stay
in motion!